Well, some highlights for you from 3SC against Enyimba. Convincing win for Enyimba in that one. 3-1 it ended. Will the good run of Enyimba continue tomorrow in Abeokuta? Nasarawa United will have a lot to say about it. But sure, you can count on us to get you all of that about this time tomorrow. But we're moving on to something different now. We're moving on to the next part of the sports tonight, and that is to talk about the Nigeria Sports Legends Awards that will be taking place later this year. Let me introduce to you my guest. Is the main organizer, the initiator of the Nigeria Sports Legends Awards, and his name is Samsudeen Tijani Yusuf. He joins us on Sports Tonight, and Samsudeen, good to have you.
Good to have you
on Sports Tonight.
My pleasure. My
yeah,
pleasure.
Let's talk about this project. What informed this idea to do something for sports legends? What informed this idea?
Okay. Basically, it started about 6 years ago, and having followed sports as a child, having watched the likes of may so rest in peace, Rashidi Yakini. I was fortunate to watch all those guys on TV. Samuel Okaraji, Sunday Bada, even some guys I never got to see, but I knew them. I used to hear about them from my parents and my uncles. So I now felt that we see in how it's done in other countries, in Europe, in South America, in other countries, how these legends become so important to the development of sports. And not just sports, in other sectors. I was like, why can't we do this in Nigeria? Because there's so many of them. Some of them are even, they're dead now. Sorry, they're not alive, Some of them are aging. Some of them are sick as we speak. So I said
they are good job.
Nobody talks about them, and you have to always realize that you have to go back to history. You have to go back to history. It's not done anywhere. So I decided, this is the right time. So I just didn't wake up one morning and say, oh, you know what, everybody is doing awards here, awards and there. This is just beyond just an award. It's something to offer these people, and they're not asking for much. Because whether they like it or not...
They just want recognition.
Exactly. So whether they like it or not, we have to. It's something that we need to. And it's not just me. It's a collective effort. The federal government has a big, important role to play. The private sector, the journalists, media. I keep saying the media. So it's very important. It's very, very important that we do this. It's very important.
You just talked about everybody that has a role to play. You talked about the federal government. You talked about the corporate, world. I know that the National Sports Commission is aware of what you're doing, and you have a mandate from them. What exactly is the mandate that you have from the National Sports Commission?
Well, first of all, I would like to say a big thank you to the Honorable Minister of Sports, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, for showing, giving us the full support on this project. He has endorsed the Nigerian Sports Legends Awards, and also he has given us a mandate to do it every year, and not just do it,
so
but
it's going to be every year.
Yes, it's an every year event. And
the first edition is this one.
Yeah, this is the first edition, and not just to do it, but to be of international standard. So he has given me more of an authority to make it of international standard. So we have to make it look different from what we've been seeing, and I know clearly that that we've had so many awards in the past, and we don't even hear of them now. So this is, like I said, it goes beyond a handshake and a plaque. Yes.
All right. What support are you getting from the National Sports Commission? Just the support of the minister. I mean, you're talking about rewarding those who have done us proud in the
Yes.
past. Golden Eaglets players, some of them forgotten. Boxers, athletes.
There's so many of them. I mean, you know, it's not done anywhere in the world where you have a project of this magnitude and you can't go through the National Sports Commission. You know, you have to go through them. You know, you have to get them involved. You know, so that alone, it's a massive support. You know, for a project.
Like the backing of the federal government.
Exactly. You know, so that's why we had to go through them in the first place and say, listen, this is what we intend to achieve. How can you support us? You know,
but it's very key for you to also get corporate support.
Of course,
what was it looking like for you?
Well, I would say it's looking good. You know, but you know, it's always difficult to convince. Yeah, being the first time, and not just the first time. It has also to do with what are you presenting. You know, what is your package? What is your proposal? How do you present it to them? You know, sponsors are money, especially these days, and anywhere in the world, it's difficult. You know, but when you're able to convince somebody to say, okay, what I'm going to give you ₦1. How are you going to manage that ₦1? You know, so we've been able to talk to a couple of corporate bodies, and you know, they've shown interest. You know, and also it's a good cause. You know, these people, they're I mean, you know, it's in our anthem. You know, it's the labors of our heroes past shall never be in vain. So, I mean, what are we talking about? So it's not. It's like I said. It's everybody has a part to play. You know. So and it's not just about that day. We have so many activities lined up. You know, we're using the social media. We know how social media is a revolution. You have to use social media these days to send out your message. So we're using Facebook. We're using Twitter. And also, we're going to have pre-event activities. We're going to have documentaries, just like the one you saw, for people to see, and not just hear. You know, if they say, "Oh,"
particularly the new generation,
exactly, they don't know them. You know, so you know, like I said, you know, we have so many of them. We have a guy called Nojim Meyagun.
Yeah.
And
boxing.
First, and I'm going to say he's the first ever medalist. Where is he today? He's in Austria. He's blind. He's blind. Forgotten. And he's alive. We also have the Tiger. He's won so many, I mean, titles, you know, world middleweight champion titles. And he used to be a security guard in a museum in America before he became champion. We had so many. We had Abbas, who was a marathon runner for us. Exactly. We had.
I'm not sure you were around when this guy.
Yes, of course. You know, we had Atanda Musa, who played table tennis for us, and so many of them. The late ones. I was coming to Lagos a few months ago, just when he passed away, Thompson Oliha.
Yeah.
People didn't know who he was.
Yeah, and
you
of
know,
course,
you know, so
those who played football without boots.
When I watch clips like this, it gives me, it gives me shiver. You know, whenever I see Meisura's Yakini, the jubilation, the celebration, you know, things like that. You know, you have to. And these people are so big. When you go international, when you travel abroad, people talk about these people. But when you come here,
so it looks like what you're putting together is not just for this generation.
It's not just.
It's
a legacy. I want to build a legacy, because when I'm not alive tomorrow, somebody will continue it. So it has to be a continuous effort. So, but we want to set that platform, and say, listen, this has to be done. It has to be done, so that it could encourage the upcoming athletes of today. Look at Blessing. She's giving her all for this country. Look at exactly. She's not gonna be. You know, it's athletes have a short lifespan. You know, it's 10 years maximum. You're done. What are you gonna do after that 10 years? We see it. We see it internationally. We see what athletes do. Some of them go into administration. Some even go back to school. Some work. So that's what we're trying to create for these people. You know, I mean, I don't want to say so much on TV. You know, I want people to